Hi. Sorry, I think I had a little too much caffeine, so bear with me a little bit. All right, Tania Bartolini. I'm an attorney. Beyond Business Contracts is a law firm that specializes in business and real estate. So, a little bit about me, if you don't know me. Um, those are my two kids. My daughter made me these bracelets, so I wear them all the time. Um, my husband, my mom, and that's my dad. He is the one who got me to be an attorney. He helped me open up my first law firm that I sold a few years ago. Um, and then we just love to have fun. These are some of the things that we like to do, and more of our, family. We have chickens and cats, and we like the outdoors. Um, as an attorney, you wouldn't think, but I know how to do sheetrock and tiling and all of those construction things because my husband does that. And so we love to just travel and really experience life. And what that has instilled in us is this sense of helping other people and getting to know other people and seeing different cultures and how different things work. So, my background and why should you listen to me, right? Um, well, all right. I'm a TEDx speaker. I have been an attorney since 2004. I went to University of Miami and got my law degree. I have a master's in international business law from the London School of Business and Finance. Um, I have been an attorney, like I said, for over 20 years. The first 10 years, I was a litigation attorney, which means I went to court every day. I had a month where I did 200 trials, so that just gives you a little bit of an idea of how much experience I had. In court, I would sit there and defend contracts or prosecute contracts. I never did criminal law. My whole career has always been with business, real estate, and those types of areas of law and industries. And I couldn't help but notice that had they only put this in the contract, we wouldn't be here today. Had they only put this term in the contract, we wouldn't be here today. And so after 10 years of doing just litigation and going to court every day, I decided that I wanted to do contracts because I learned from litigation what those things are that bring you to court. What are most of the things that bring those disputes that people can't get over or fix by themselves? And so I became a contract attorney, as a transactional attorney, as well as a litigation attorney. So I do both. Now, I sold my law firm in 2020. And in that period of time, from 2020 till about the beginning of this year, I was a business consultant. And I had Business and Beyond. It's still there. I still help companies with their operations, with their strategies, budgets, those types of things, and how to grow and scale. In those years, I have realized that there's a big gap, right? There's a big gap in business and in which businesses are actually using legal services and what's going on in the business world. Okay, so what is a small business? A small business is anything from 1 to over 500 employees. That's a big number. And up to 16 million plus in revenue annually. So it's a huge range of what a small business is. As we see, 70% of those small businesses are owned and operated by one person. They are individually operated. 99.9% of the small business in the US are considered small businesses, and 90% of them fail within the first 5 years. That is very sad, right? And one of the primary reasons is financial hurdles. And this is where business contracts come in. So the gap that I found is that attorneys are expensive, right? And we are, and we have to be, because we pay so much money for law school. I'm still paying off student loans, and I had a 90% scholarship to law school, and I had a full ride to undergrad. So I can't imagine attorneys who had to pay their way through the whole thing, right? And so I understand why attorneys are expensive. But the problem is, if they're so expensive, people who start businesses cannot afford them. And so they cannot get the contracts in place to make sure that they're getting paid and continue their business. And so this is where I need your help. I came up with a legal membership, okay? My proposition is to have a legal membership where different businesses can pay a certain amount per month, and they get a return on their investment through legal contracts, collection letters, and different things that they need, so that someone who is just starting out can afford to have legal representation. And you can afford to have contracts in place that are gonna help you grow your business and stay in business. And now is the question.
Very
right?
good. Let's give her a big round of applause.
Wait. This is all part of it.
All right. So do you have questions for our presenter?
Okay.
I'm sure they're going to get to them, believe me.
Okay.
We'll get to them through the question and answer.
Okay, I actually got two questions for you. I just want to make a comment on your idea of contracts. I agree with you, and a lot of these contracts are being written in such a way that they are reducing risk for the companies. I'm talking about real estate people now, and passing it on to the end user. I don't like that. That's not my question. My question is this: what assumptions have you made? What assumptions have you tested? So, and what did you find out? Because you're doing a lot of theory here about you looked at this and you looked at that. How have you tested your ideas?
Okay, so in writing contracts, I can say that none of my contracts have gone to trial. So all of them have been, knock on wood, sufficient to not allow people to sue each other, because they really do have the terms that are needed and they're clear, right? I don't like legalese very much, although some legalese has to be in the contracts. But if they're clear and everybody understands their liabilities, their responsibilities, what they're supposed to do, and they know how to get out of the contract should their circumstances change, then there's really hardly any disputes, right? And so that's what's happened. But what I want you guys to help me with is I'm trying to figure out what are the needs of the businesses when it comes to legal needs, right? So that I can make sure that my seed offerings have everything in there that someone who's thinking about starting a business can take advantage of it, right? So I do have a few of these. Whoever's interested in looking at it and telling me, hey, I would like to see this, I need this, I need that, can you incorporate it? I want to incorporate it in there, because the whole point of this is to help businesses, especially the smaller businesses, be able to afford legal representation and be able to be protected properly and, you know, get their money when someone doesn't pay them.
Thank you. And also, please, guys, ask your questions. Leave the personal statements for connection time.
Good morning, Santa Claus.
Hi.
Hi. 99% of the time I work as an individual. I do have elves on occasion. I love your seed program because the contracts that are available to me, you know, you find them online. Here's a simple contract. And I kind of feel, yeah, those contracts are worthless. So if I came to you and I just want a simple contract, $100?
So the memberships are a yearly membership.
Exactly, but it's worth it at $100 because of what a lot of individuals that have a business as an individual, they have so many expenses on liability, uniforms, training, and it is really expensive. I think for people that are an individual business, you know, there's a lot of people that could benefit this. And I just making a suggestion, that's all I'm saying. There's a lot of performers who perform as individuals that could really use the service. But thank you for presenting.
Thank you for that. I will add that.
You got it.
So I would like to have my question answered if you can like go through the slides. But before that, may I have one of those, please?
Yes.
Thank you. And then like, yeah, spend, I don't know, a minute or two on whatever it would be a question to answer.
So the sprouts are the ones who are already in business, but they're not quite big enough and they have more needs. And then as your business grows, the memberships can grow and the offerings can grow as well. So you get more for your money. And if you saw from the first one, the return on investment that I'm trying to do is at least 4 to 5 times what you paid. So everybody is happy, you have contracts that you can use, and you don't feel like you're overpaying for legal. And another thing I need help with is I had been suggested to brand myself as the ultra bright attorney with that smile. Your friendly advocate. I am more inclined to try to settle because it usually is in the best interest of my client rather than paying me and putting the money in my pocket. I would like to have you keep your money and get rid of the legal headaches. And so what do you guys think of that? Thank you.